What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Powell going deep, and it's caught in the end zone for a touchdown by Xavier Diaz. A great throw, Diaz wide open.
.32-yarder here, well within his range.
Ball snap, spotted, kick is up, and it is down the middle.
Good by plenty.
It looks like it's going to be short. Stretch that, baby. There we go. Give it a good pull. And Vineland's defense. Oh, no.
What? That was a little suspect there.
Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Guzman's Gridiron, presented by the Red and Gray Gridiron Group and Underground Sports Philadelphia. Kyle Bennett here with you, and as always, the namesake of the show, joining me, our co-host, head coach of Vineland High School football, Coach Jose Guzman. We're back in the saddle. We took the bye week off. We figured everyone needed a nice little mental reset, a little vacation, and now we're back. Coach, how are we feeling rest-wise, having the week off, and just being able to kind of just detach a little bit, assess this first portion of the season, and kind of just, feel like we're getting back in the swing of things once again, like it's almost August all over.
Right. I'll tell you what, it definitely helped us. There was a lot of kids that were pretty banged up, as you well know. And most of those kids, with the grace of the Lord above, are pretty much back in tune. Again, TD and Dara have done an excellent job, our athletic trainers here at Vineland High School, and that's one thing that these kids can rely on is good people to be behind them and getting them back into playing shape.
We got a lot to get into since we took last week off. We'll do a mini recap of the Atlantic City game, get you your Homegrown Player of the Week, and we will also lead the show off here. Make sure you guys are following Vineland Football on social media at all their social media links are linked below in the video and audio description of the podcast. Follow Underground Sports Philadelphia as well. We're on all social platforms. Be sure to subscribe to Guzman's Gridiron on Apple and Spotify so you don't miss out on any episodes throughout the remainder of this season and beyond. There's a designated RSS feed just for Guzman's Gridiron, and the episode on audio also airs on the Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast feed. So if you want almost like 3 times a week, just hearing my voice in your ears, talking Philly sports, and then boom, Guzman's Gridiron right in the middle of the week. That's where you can subscribe as well. And if you want to watch the show weekly, it is on the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. It premieres like it's a brand new TV show, and then it's available to watch as well once the premiere is over with. But hop in the chat, leave those positive comments, leave comments on the video as long as they're positive, uplifting our student athletes. Leave a like on the video, and be sure to share the episode with your friends and your family. Programming note this week. Coach Guzman is aware of this. I've been aware of this for some time. We've been trying to get some final details on it. It is unfortunately official here, but I am working on a makeshift of it because I care about the kids here. I care about the parents who tune in to our broadcast that may not be able to make it out to games every week. So we're working on things. When I get a concrete announcement about what I'm working on, I'll be sure to send it to Coach Guzman so you can send it in Huddle. I'll send it out on the social media platforms as well, so that everyone is kind of informed. But unfortunately, this week, for the first time in I don't know how long, probably ever, since we've had Vineland Public Broadcasting, and I just want it to be known this is just a message on my own fruition. This is not coming from anybody. I just want everyone to be as informed as possible. We will not be live streaming or broadcasting, so it won't be recorded from Vineland Public Broadcasting and uploaded the following day. This weekend's game against Highland, there is a student fundraiser that is occurring here at Vineland High School on Friday night as well, and the chain of command has decided to live stream a paid ticketed event instead of our varsity football game at an away venue. That was shocking news to me a couple of weeks ago when I first heard everything, and as it just continued to progress and we were trying to make something work, the fact that it remained the concrete decision was quite baffling to me. So unfortunately, there will not be our incredible broadcast team led by Doug Diola, and our student workers as well will not be live streaming or recording to tape this weekend's game at Highland, but trying to makeshift have something happen. I've been trying to get in contact with Highland's athletic department, and like I said, once we get a concrete answer on it, we will let you all know. I am going to try to bring this setup that I bring every week to record the show with Coach Guzman and do almost a makeshift radio broadcast of this weekend's game. So it may not have a visual component. If it does, it may just be my face. It won't be the field, simply because I don't have the personal clearances from the NJSIAA to record like Vineland Public Broadcasting does. But I am going to try to podcast it, and it would be a new venture for this football program to have that done, so that also kind of excites me there. But it would be like a makeshift radio broadcast where it would just be an audio kind of telling of what's going on during the game, full game and everything. And then I will upload that audio to the Guzman's Gridiron podcast feed on Saturday morning as soon as I can. That way there is something there for everyone to consume from this game. I was shocked when I found out we wouldn't be broadcasting it, simply because high school football here at Vineland is an institution. No matter how good, bad, or in between a season is, people show out for the football team. People tune in, not just locally, but globally, to our football broadcasts on a weekly basis. So it was very frustrating to hear that news, but like the creative I am trying to, turn on a dime and make something happen, because I think you all at home deserve something to have to at least listen to and consume and know what happens at this football game, especially knowing that it's an away game. So stay tuned for further details, hopefully before Friday, but we are trying to make something happen. But just to let everybody know, there will be no live stream or live to tape recording of this weekend's football game from Vineland Public Broadcasting.
And that's the case.
Unfortunate.
Yes.
To which I joked with our typical camera operator, my mother, saying that this weekend, because there's going to be no formal video recording, something SportsCenter Top 10 is going to happen, and there's going to be no visual evidence of it. So I'm going to have my phone on the ready to just send like the Zapruder SportsCenter Top 10 film. Yeah. But we're going to try to make something happen, because that's what we do here.
Absolutely.
How was the bye week, Coach? How are you feeling rest wise? You look rejuvenated and just ready to rock and roll for these next two games before the postseason.
Again, it was nice to have that time off, mainly for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly for them to get better. We were struck with the injury bug, the likes of which I've never been a part of before. I've never, whether it was coaching and or playing, I've never been on a team where so many injuries happen at such a unbelievable frequency.
And significant injuries at that.
It wasn't no, stubbing a toe or nothing. No, it was major injuries, legs being broken, hips possibly fractured, shoulders, labrums, this, that. I mean, it goes on and on the list, knees. It's just what it is.
It's that song.
It's
Head, shoulders, knees, toes.
Yeah,
that's what the injury report is looking like.
And I'll tell you what, it's not even it's
the
true.
Facts.
It's facts. So, but I'll tell you what, we have resilient kids. We have tough kids here in Vineland. They've played through, their injuries if they can. If they couldn't, well, they couldn't. You know what I mean? But again, our job is to go ahead and make sure that we protect our kids. And in which case we did. Kids that had to sit, they sat. It is what it is. We went by our medical professional staff as well as TD and Miss Dara in conjunction, and we did what was best for the kids. Not let's just wrap them up and get them out on the field. That's not how it works. At least that's not how it works. Not here
for sure.
And again, our kids' health is paramount. We're just lucky to have some really good people around us by way of the medical staff and TD and Miss Dara that help get our kids back into playing form. So I'm very appreciative for them.
When you have a bye week fall on the schedule where it did this year, where after the bye you only have 2 games remaining before postseason, before Thanksgiving, what are some of the pros and cons of that? You just talked about, obviously, the laundry list of critical injuries that you guys have had, but what are some of the pros and cons to when you're coming into the year and you see the schedule and it's like, okay, our bye week is falling there. That's kind of nice for us to get in a groove and consistently play, but also you're going to have to wait until that point to really have a true week off and let these guys' bodies heal up as much as they possibly can. How do you guys weigh some of the pros and cons of where the bye week fell this year?
I mean, pros, it's time off for the kids to get better. But I believe, in a perfect world, right? It's kind of a con to have, a bye week so deep into the season. You would want to have it more in the middle of the season to kind of like early, or at least that's, ideally that middle of the season would be a nice number, 4th or 5th game around there, not, with what, 3-4 more games remaining.
Right.
But nonetheless, we needed that time off. The kids especially, not so much the coaches. We keep it rolling. It is what it is. But the kids, they needed that. They needed to get healthy. They needed their bodies to rest. It's a grueling, schedule. It's something that, again, if you've never played football, you really don't know what it feels like. Day in and day out, week in and week out. You're going up against some really tough teams and some really physical teams, right? And so your body's accumulating all of these injuries and nicks and things of that nature. So again, man, the thing that I could say that we best took from it was we needed that rest. It was much needed. The kids got their rest, their due rest. They kept coming to Miss Dara and TD for their therapy. And everything kind of worked out, for us heading into Highland this Friday.
And on top of that, not only is it injuries and getting that body rest, a lot of these guys, it's the first time playing varsity football.
Yes.
So it's like,
Yes.
The past 5-6 weeks, it's like, what the hell have I gone through? Like, what? Yeah. And your body finally has that time to rest, and it's like, whoa. And you kind of like reacclimate to like your baseline almost. And it's like, wow, like I've been putting my body through it. And that's kind of, when you get that bye week, your first varsity season, you realize like, whoa, this has been a grind.
Yes. And being so that, again, we have a lot of young kids out there playing, it's kind of a reality check. Like you see the difference now. You see the difference from the freshman level, the JV level, to the varsity level. It's a grueling task to ask of a kid, a student athlete. So, we're just very fortunate again that we healed up per se for the most part, with the exception of a couple guys that really can't go. The Aiden Barrientos of the world and such. We wish that he could be out here with us. He's a great football player, great kid, great leader. But, he knows that his health is paramount to us, and he's doing whatever the medical staff, in conjunction with TD and Miss Dara, are telling him to do. And he's doing everything in his power to try to get back for his senior year.
When you have, a game like Atlantic City, which we'll kind of put a mini wrap up on as well, but when you have a game like that and then go into the bye, and you have such a young team, what's kind of the message from you guys, not even necessarily post-game in that post-game huddle, but probably the next day or the day after, to kind of just relay the message like, hey, let that kind of soak in, and you have a full week now to kind of remember what this game was like and what you can learn from it as we go into this final stretch of the regular season?
Again, no one likes to lose. These losses have left a sour taste in our kids' mouths, the coaching staff as well. But our kids are fighting, man. Our kids are fighting. Again, no excuses. AC came with a great game plan. Coach Keenan has those kids playing for him out of their minds. His coaching staff did a great job getting everything, up and up for them. We talked a little bit earlier, off screen, and I told you, it's just a shame if we would have been at our best and healthy, everybody healthy, scored really. In my opinion, it could have been a lot closer than what it showed. And if you recall that game, that first quarter, we were
buzzing. We
were right there with them.
Back
and
forth,
scoring back and forth, great defensive stops. It's tough when you have that many key injuries to key players. It's tough. There's no rhyme or reason for it other than it's just tough to go ahead and get over that hump and really put forth your best effort. But I'll tell you what, the guys that did step in, they did a great job stepping in and keeping the course. We had a lot of young guys that got their opportunity. Kyrie, KJ, freshman quarterback, went in there and he gave it his all, right? And he had some good throws, man. He did some good things out there that is promising for the future.
Right.
You know what I mean? So again, the effort was there. It's just, it's tough when you have some key guys, a lot of key guys that were down.
When you look at that first quarter against Atlantic City too, like we mentioned, like it was back and forth. It was like everything that you could want from a football game, no matter who you were rooting for. It was exciting. It was enthralling. Like it brought you in. Right. And as you guys are watching that first quarter, whether in real time or when you go back and watch it on film, what do you guys take away from that first quarter? Because I think there's so much to build upon from that. And obviously it wasn't a full, complete game for you guys, but using that first quarter as such a high point and a high teaching point as for you guys as coaches to be like, look what we were capable of, early in this game. We were going back and forth with a team that is on their way to being a playoff team, on their way to potentially hosting not one but two playoff games this postseason. You were right there. And it felt like the first time that really happened this year too, because there were either games where we were playing from behind or games where we were up by, the Clearview game where we were up by a number of scores. There was no real opportunity for the back and forth, but what did you guys take away as coaches to notice, like, hey, we're going back and forth with a very talented football team right now?
We were excited, man. We were, excited for the kids that actually took their opportunity and ran with it, right? Again, we were sitting on a pedestal, kind of looking down. It was nice to see that a lot of the young guys that got their opportunity really took that opportunity and shined. So I'm very proud of my kids, man. They fought and they kept their heads up high, and it's just, at the end, we came up on the losing end, but we really were proud of our kids on how they fought all the way through to the end.
Yeah, and I mean, you get the field goal, which I thought was pretty impressive kick there from Brett.
Absolutely.
Right on the money in very windy conditions, that Thursday night that we were playing at Atlantic City, and he nailed it. I think one of his best kicks in game that we have seen from him, and he just continues to progress. And we've talked about him for the past couple of shows too, and I think the more confidence he gains, I think that's just his number one thing, is just being confident in his leg. He's going to be a real key component for you guys down the stretch here.
Yeah, Brett Brush, great kid. Always really diligent and methodical in how he goes about his practice. He has his own practice methods, but I always so a little sidebar with Brett. You always see me, here with it, right? The kid is he makes me smile, man. He makes me laugh. He's a great kid. He's about his business, but he's also he's a little goofball too, So it's like I see him, I'm like, hey Brett, we're good, and he's like, Coach, good. You know what I mean? So in that aspect, I love him. Every kicker and punter that I've had is different.
Yeah,
that's all I can tell you.
100%.
The word is different.
Yeah,
from punter to kickers to holders.
Yeah.
And long snappers, they're all just different guys,
mm-hmm.
And it's okay to be different. I love it because
they are the goalies of football.
Yeah, I go over with them in practice and I start listening to their conversations. Different,
yeah.
All football related, just different,
right?
And then, it's times like, for instance, in the summertime, I would come out and I'd see Brett warming up, and I'm looking at the guys. They're all suited up. I look at Brett. He has on his uppers. Just shoulder pads and a helmet, shorts. Yeah. And then I look again. Everyone's fully padded and suited. And I look at Brett. Uppers, shoulder pads. So I walk over. I'm like, hey, Brett, you missing anything? He goes, nah, Coach, I'm kicking him through. You see, I think I got this 35, 40-yarder in me too right now if you want to watch. I'm like, sure, go ahead, son. So I watch him kick it, and he kicks it through, boom. I'm like, you still don't see anything different, son. There's nothing different here. Like Sesame Street, which of these things are doing their own thing, And he goes, nah, Coach, everything's fine. So, at your leash, son. At your leash. It's just that type of different. See what I mean? Like it's just different. But again, he gets his job done. He earned his spot. Nothing was given to that kid. He earned everything, and I'm very proud of him, man. He's that guy.
He reminds me of the penguin from the movie Surf's Up. He's got that type of vibe and aura
He's that
about
guy,
him.
dude.
I saw him at the girls' soccer game a week ago or so,
right?
And he just makes eye contact with me.
Yeah. And
I'm like, okay, here comes Brett, and he's like, Mr. Bennett, and I was like, I froze because I was like, in my head, I was like, Brett, it's not my name. That's my dad. That's my dad. You don't call me that. I was like, what's up, man? And he just thanked me for dubbing him Brett Curry with the shot every broadcast when he makes a kick. So, Brett, just a subtle reminder. Call me Kyle, KB. Mr. Bennett is my dad.
But yeah, he like I said, as far as Brett's concerned, we love him. He's earned his spot through and through, and he's only getting better every week. And I have so much confidence in that kid that right away there was no questioning and me kicking that field goal in Atlantic City. I knew he was going to make it. I see him make 40-yarders all day here in practice, all day long. So I was like, Henry, get him ready. Henry's like, already. Henry, animated coach, Garton's like, already got it, Coach. Already got him ready. It's like, all right, if he's ready, we're pulling the trigger. If we get within range, and you tell me it's within his range,
we're doing it.
We're pulling the trigger, and he's going to go ahead and kick this field goal, and he did.
Brett was fantastic. One other player really stood out to me, and that's why they are our homegrown player of the week for the Atlantic City game, brought to you by our friends at Allen Associates. And if you're looking for a reliable and experienced insurance agency that caters to all your needs, look no further than Allen Associates Insurance Services. With over 6 decades of experience, this year is their 65th year in business here. Under their belts, they specialize in health insurance, financial services, and accounting. And whether you're a part of the public or private sector, they've got you covered. Their family-owned business currently helps upwards of 300 groups throughout New Jersey, providing them with the best insurance options available. You can easily learn more and access their services by visiting their newly renovated website, which is linked in the description. It's on the screen right now if you're watching the video version. So join the family and let them help you secure your future today. Contact them today online or by calling 856-692-2250. That's 856-692-2250. If you go in person, tell Corey that Guzman's Gridiron sent you. We thank Allen Associates for being a long-standing partner here at Guzman's Gridiron. Coach, this week, just one player that really stood out on paper to me and on film and watching the game as I was broadcasting it. It was Bryce Hill. He was sensational. He's been sensational all year, quite frankly. And for him to step up the way that he did, both offense, defense, all year long, it was only fitting. And he was making plays left and right to really keep you guys in the game, especially on defense. And, we've talked about it since Aiden's been out, who's going to fill in there. And Bryce has done a phenomenal job. And it feels like he's also really coming into his own at the tight end position and just feeling himself out there and confident, catching the football and making plays. So that's why he's our homegrown player of the week for Atlantic City. But what did you guys take away from Barias' play and just overall how, big of a contributor he's been this year for you guys?
I'll tell you what, that young man is he's a baller, man. I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. The main thing that young man makes me so proud of is that he's honed in that energy, right? He's honed it in so much so that now he's more focused than he's ever been on that football field. He's not worried about the ticky-tack, that this guy hit me a little late, so now I'm just going to focus in and laser focus on this guy to go ahead and get him on this next play. It's what's the next thing that I have to do? What's my job? Mm-hmm. And he takes care of his job, and he does it in a great fashion, man. He's a leader out there. He's vocal, but he does so the old Barias Hill is gone. It's the new improved Barias Hill. Someone that not only is a vocal leader out there, but it's somebody you can depend on to make that next play. I mean, this kid is all over the field. He's a sideline to sideline linebacker all day long. He flies to the ball. He reads his keys well. Just a heck of a player on that football field. And like I said, I'm very, very proud to say that, he has changed in such a positive way. Kudos to him, man. I'm very proud of you, Bryce. Keep it up, because with that attitude that you have now, that newfound attitude you have, the sky's the limit for this kid, man. He's going to be a player. When he graduates from here, all I'm hoping for him is that he lands the school of his choice, and he goes on to do even bigger things at the next level collegiately. So keep it up, Bryce.
And we've talked about it since Aiden's been out, kind of just the defense finding their voice, and he and CJ together have really been an absolute tandem in being kind of that leveling point in the middle of the field on defense.
Yeah, it's a shame that Aiden's not there with them, because that trifecta would be phenomenal. It's just, three animals out there that are just, salivating to get to the next play. You know what I mean? They're just dynamic players, each and every one. But again, with Aiden being out, these guys picked up the ball and ran with it, man, and did it in an excellent fashion. Very proud of both.
And CJ did that quite literally.
Yeah, he did. CJ's a heck of a player in his own as well.
We will we'll take a quick break to have a word from our sponsors, but on the other side, we'll prepare for Highland, get you all geared up for that game, and a whole bunch more. But don't go anywhere. You are listening to and watching Guzman's Gridiron right here on Underground Sports Philadelphia. Hey, everybody, quick ad break, and I want to talk to you about our amazing sponsor, Allen Associates. And if you are looking for a reliable and experienced insurance agency that caters to all your needs, look no further than Allen Associates Insurance Services. With over 6 decades of experience under their belt, they specialize in health insurance, financial services, and accounting. Whether you're a part of the public or private sector, they've got you covered. Their family-owned business currently helps upwards of 300 groups throughout New Jersey, providing them with the best insurance options available. You can easily learn more and access their services by visiting their newly renovated website, AllenAssoc, that's ALLENASSOC.com. So join the family and let them help you secure your future. Contact them today online or by calling 856-692-2250. That's 856-692-2250. Big thank you to Allen Associates for being a proud partner of Guzman's Gridiron.
Out here, strength isn't a choice. It's a way of life. And when your back carries the weight of generations, you need support that never gives out. In the city, the load's different, but the drive is the same. When every step matters, your knees shouldn't slow you down. And when the work is done, healing isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. At Family Medical Equipment, we build relief into every stitch, strap, and product. From the fields to the office to your journey back to full strength. Family Medical Equipment. Built to support. Made to last.
Hello, I'm Mayor Anthony Fanucci. Vineland, New Jersey offers both a great business location and an outstanding quality of life. But don't just take my word for it, the experts agree. We're proud to be recognized as a premier food processing and logistics hub, one of New Jersey's most affordable and desirable cities, and one of the best places to retire in the country. Visit vinelandcity.org and see how our resources can work for you. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
And welcome back, everybody. Big thank you to our sponsors and coach as we come out of the bye of, as close to fully rested group as you could potentially hope for at this point in the season, gearing up for a team like Highland. What is kind of the practice vibe we were talking before we started recording too? It feels like when everybody came back in, they felt, a sense of refreshed, and they felt like a new lease on what's to come the remainder of this season. What have you made so far, this week of practice as you guys gear up for another road game?
I'll tell you what, our kids are excited. Our kids are, again, due to that nice rest period we gave them during that bye, they're rejuvenated, man. They, they're flying around. We had them come in last week as well. Even during the bye, we had them come in. Again, schematics, seeing what we're going to face in Highland, seeing the install, what we've got planned for them, things of that nature. And then it's just been work since we got back. Again, it's all high energy, high tempo. Just left a little while ago practice out in the field, and they're flying around to the ball, man. Their legs just look fresh, Those that were injured, they look back and they're playing form, So I'm very happy to say that.
And, I think a lot of that just from an outside perspective looking in, too, when you have kind of that reprieve week and are able to kind of rest up, like we mentioned, with a team that is so young, it kind of gives, their bodies are still growing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people forget that, too. Like, these are, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids that their bodies are still developing, still growing, 6 months from now, some of these guys could grow 6 inches, and we'd be like, when did that happen? As we look up at them, like, there's a lot that goes on, and I think when you give your body that rest and then you get back out to what you were doing, you're gonna feel, a new jolt and a new lease on life, for lack of a better term, there with just how you go about things. It's like, whoa, I feel, a little bit more agile.
Right.
I feel, my legs are back under me.
Right.
Like, you feel that rest really, kicking in and what it was meant to do.
Right. And again, it was just a rest period that was much needed. And even I'm going to say this much too, even for my coaches, you know what I mean? And myself, like,
The mental
football.
rest.
Yeah, we love football. Don't get me wrong. We'll stay and chit chat football all day with you. But it was a good reprieve to kind of be home with the family and do more family things, at least for that week. At least for myself. Speaking on myself, and I'm sure my guys too. They got families of their own, and it was just nice for them to hone in that family aspect and be home with their kids and their significant others, man. It was good.
100%. And, as we talk about rest, getting your legs back under you, we still got an injury report to dive into, and that's brought to you by our awesome friends at Family Medical Equipment. And as a full home medical equipment company, Family Medical Equipment offers specialty equipment for pediatrics through geriatrics. And since 2001, they have been a trusted service throughout New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware for essential healthcare needs. You can visit their Vineland retail shop at 106 West Landis Avenue, Unit 10. In this day and age, who doesn't love a brick and mortar store? To still be able to go into, be part of the community, it's truly something that I think we've lost touch with a lot. So to be able to have that right in our backyard is a huge thing. So visit them, like I said, at their retail shop at 106 West Landis Avenue, Unit 10, and experience the difference that a family business provides. You can also contact them over the phone at 856-794-8050. That's 856-794-8050. Big thank you to Family Medical Equipment for being our official injury partner all season long. What is the injury report out of the bye looking like? Obviously, against Atlantic City, if you were there, if you watched the broadcast, a number of injuries, piled up in that game as well. What are we looking like coming out of that game, coming out of the bye, and preparing for Highland?
We're still dealing with the previous injuries. It's just that they've kind of given that time frame. They kind of have dissipated in severity. But again, our guys they're working through some issues. So again, we're leaving it up to the medical staff and TD and Miss Darrow to go ahead and get our guys back into playing shape. But for the most part, knock on wood, I would say a good 85% of our guys, 90% of our guys are back pretty healthy. There's still outliers out there that again, our Aiden Barrientos of the world, they have to go through that medical staff and see how they see fit for them to either play or not play, in conjunction again with TD and Mistara.
And obviously the biggest injury due to just the nature of the position was Elijah. How is he doing, after exiting the game against Atlantic City?
Elijah, believe it or not, man, he's feeling good. He's out there slinging the ball around with accuracy, efficiency. So, his, that ankle's feeling a lot better. So we're hoping for the best in that. He's going to treatment every day. He's doing what he has to do. So we're happy to say he's on course to go ahead and play this week against Highland.
And I think it's only right, just due to the nature of what we had thought had happened, what has transpired. The rest of the season, I'm going to check in on Caden. How's Caden doing? Just another week in recovery and everything, and getting back to being old number 4 Caden Chestnut.
Well, I'll tell you what, Caden looks great, sounds great. He's back to his little goofy ways about him. I mess with him every day. I see him. I'm like, Caden, are you good? He goes, I feel great, Coach. I'm like, all right.
Not one, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, no, he gives you the 2 thumbs up. I feel great, Coach. I'm like, are you sure? Did you go see TD and Miss Darry? Yeah, Coach. I mean, this kid, he's on it. He takes advantage of everything that we have allotted for our kids to utilize. That's why they're here, right? To be utilized in the fashion that, that they know that they can see fit to go ahead and get them back on the field. So, again, Caden's doing really good. He's again, man, he's Caden, making everybody smile, laugh, and he's catching the ball very well. Just, yesterday I see him out there. I threw him a deep post like clockwork. He looked great. 2 hands on the ball, caught, holding it high and tight, to the side, everything that, book-wise that you want an offensive player to do when they have that football in their hand, he did. So again, he's running crisp routes. Nothing looks out of the ordinary. You have TD out there, making sure that he's getting the visual on him. Let's keep our fingers crossed. But that young man, thank the Lord above, he's back with a vengeance, in my opinion.
And then on the flip side, we know he is out for the season, but how's Glenn doing?
Glenn is doing great. He's goofy too. I'll tell you what, that kid is just, he's a great teammate. He's always around the guys. Even, I told you, when he was, down and out, he was on huddle. The same day that the whole leg thing happened, he's on huddle with the guys, talk about, I'm bored. What are you guys doing? Like, wait a minute, son. Your leg just got, twisted in angles that no one
should not be possible.
No. And you're bored. I mean, this
I
kid.
wish I had that pain tolerance.
Let me tell you something. That's a tough kid.
Whew.
Because to go through all that, and then, again, a few hours later, you're talking about, I'm bored. What are you guys doing?
Right. After you just had emergency surgery.
Yes. The kid is, and then he's got the crutches 1 minute. Then he's hopping everywhere. I'm like, Glenn, what are we doing? Oh, I don't know where the crutches went, Coach. So I'm just, what?
They should always be on you.
They don't just walk off, crutches don't just leave and walk off on their own, like, he's like, nah, I'll be fine, Coach, and he's hopping around with the boot. Like, I'm like, this kid is, love the kid, energy for days.
Is he a kicker in a different life, Coach?
I don't know. The kid is he's just great, a great teammate. He's great to have around. He's got that good energy. It saddens me that he can't finish the season, man, because that kid has some talent, man. He has some talent. So let's see what the future brings for him. I'm hoping nothing but positivity in his life. I'm hoping that he finally goes ahead and gets to finish out a true season, because the kid can be dynamic.
Mm-hmm. As we get ready for final road game of the regular season, not including Thanksgiving, first time we're going to Highland, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes.
So what do you make of that as, head coach, and you get a chance to go to a new venue that you guys have never really seen before? What excites you about, kind of just a little new side quest adventure of preparing for the unknown?
Again, that coach over there in Highland, the head coach does an excellent job with them kids. He'll have them ready. That's a given. Him and his coaching staff will have his kids ready, and we know that as a coaching staff. But it is neat to go ahead and face an opponent on their turf, on their stomping grounds.
For the first time ever.
Time. Yeah. So
you don't get a lot of firsts when it comes to football, especially here when we've been around for so long.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of firsts, so to be able to experience that is very fun.
Yeah, it's going to be good, and he's a good dude, man. That head coach is a good person, and again, he's going to have his team, willing and ready, and we'll have our guys willing and ready to go ahead and have a heck of a game come Friday.
Because we played them last year. Here. Okay, so that was last year.
Yeah.
What have you guys noticed just growth-wise from playing them last year and the experiences that you guys had against them and what they kind of put on film now? Is there anything that has changed much? Is it a lot of similar dynamics that you can prepare for? What are some things that you've picked up on, first time playing them last year to the progression this year and what Highland does best? What are some things that you guys can also kind of view as like, hey, we succeed in this kind of situation as well?
I could tell this much. I could tell that his coaching philosophy is now starting to go ahead and take form. I know that when we talked last year, me and him, he had told me, he took over a program and there was a lot of dynamics where, the former coach had instilled in the kids. So he had to get his coaching philosophy for the kids to go ahead and buy into his new view of going ahead and coaching up a team. So you can actually see the difference from last year, his team last year to this year, where they have bought into his game plan and his philosophy, and they're going to do great things with that guy. He's a good dude.
And that's a testament to him for that to take place in just a year's time. Yes. Is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, and he's had to deal with some, just like a lot of us head coaches, got to deal with some weird dynamics, as far as, a day-to-day grind, right, and coaching. But even with all that being said, he put in his philosophy, and the kids, you could tell the kids have bought in.
And I think, when you have a program like that, very similar to you taking over when you did, obviously you were under Coach Russo on his staff, but kind of just instilling your own, nuances to things.
Right.
I think, it took a little bit of time, especially, with the delay of getting you in year one, but once you saw your dynamics come in, you saw the buy-in, and for that to happen in year 2 for Highland is pretty awesome to see, because we talk about it all the time. There's a lot of talent down here in South Jersey, and for a coach to come in and be able to get that buy-in from his talent is a testament to him, his staff, and a testament to those student athletes too, to say, hey, we believe in the vision here, and we're going to go forward with it.
Absolutely. And that's what ultimately, I guess, if you're putting that into a general scope, that's ultimately what all head coaches want, right? They want your group to go ahead and buy into your coaching philosophy. So, it's that type of situation that if it does happen, and when it does happen, you just feel, it's an intrinsic feeling that just keeps on giving, because you're like, wow, you're seeing every practice, and the flow of things and how it's working out dynamically on those practice fields, and then ultimately how it comes to render itself true come game day. So it's pretty neat, man.
Is that something for you from your experiences too? When does something like that kind of hit you? Is it during a midweek practice? Is it during a game day? When does kind of that feeling know that, like, okay, this team, they understand what, the task at hand is. They understand what we're trying to accomplish, what we're trying to get through as our message and philosophy as coaches. When did that hit for you for the first time, as a head coach, and when did you feel like the buy-in really was there, and when did it hit you?
It hit me during practice, man. During practice, I'm looking at the practices, and I'm seeing how everything's flowing and running, and it just, I was like, wow, this is neat. It's neat because, like you said, every head coach puts their little spin to things, right? They have their own little nuances that they want instilled, and want their coaching staff to go ahead and follow and instill also. So it's pretty neat. Like I said, during practice one day, I was looking and I'm like, this is pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool how everything kind of just flowed and came together, staff and student athletes alike.
And is that something too that hits every year for you, because it is a new group a lot of the time? You bring in new players, whether they're freshmen or maybe a junior or senior that never played football before. Is that something that clicks every year for you?
Every single year. So it's like, what you want to do, what you want to instill as far as your program, but when it ultimately comes together on that field, it's like you feel like a father to a newborn. You're like, yes, this is cool, man. You know what I mean? This is really nice. And again, you just hope that continues right on through the season, and then that's what my kids are doing right now, man. They're just going ahead, making sure that they cross their T's, dot their I's, and again, motivated and ready to rock and roll for Friday.
When you have, kind of an unfamiliar territory, like we said, this is the first time we're going to Highland, only the second time we played them in recent history, if history at all. I think last year we actually said was the first time we were playing Highland ever.
Right.
So, not a lot of, back history to go on. What are some things that you notice, they're buying into this staff now? What are some things that Highland do really well that have popped on film for you, whether it's, passing the ball, running the ball, defensively, special teams? What are some, highlighted points that you guys have picked up on film study that Highland do really well this year?
I think that the cohesiveness as a team, as a unit, you see it more this year as opposed to last year. They are more fluid than last year, in my opinion. and you know they really do try to establish that run before anything, and it's just again it's nice to see that this team has now bought into their head coach's coaching philosophy. So yeah, we're gonna have our work cut out for us. There's no gimmies in this.
100%.
Game. No gimmies.
When you have a team that likes to establish the run, how much point of emphasis is it for you guys to really hone in on this week of practice to mention guys like CJ, like Barias, like Zach Zavis, who's been, filling that middle at nose tackle for you guys admirably.
Yes.
Those three guys is kind of the triangle there of honing in on that run game, especially on the interior. How important are those three going to be this week for you on defense?
I mean, ultimately, they're key pieces and they're going to be extremely important. But at the end of the day, defensively, we always preach to our kids 11 hats on the football.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you think that the next guy is going to make the play is the minute that offensive player takes it to the house. Why? Because you thought. You don't think in this game, you react.
Yeah.
There's no thinking that's involved.
Good point.
You react. So all 11 hats on that offensive player defensively. Offensively, we always preach all 11 guys on the same page. We got to have all 11 on the same page. They got to know exactly their job, their responsibility, do it to a T, execute. Those are the main focuses that we tell these guys as far. Same thing with special teams, execution. All 11 guys have to be on the same page.
And, when you have a defense that can be opportunistic, we saw it against Atlantic City. There were multiple times where ball was on the ground. You guys came up with turnovers, which was a positive growth moment for you guys. What are some things you build upon there with, turnovers and being opportunistic, being reactionary to the ball being loose, an interception, and being able to win the turnover battle?
Again, it's a nice thing to know that our kids can be that type of defense, right? They can be ball hawks and opportunistic in that sense. But it's just nicer to know that we can do it even with the likes of a team like Atlantic City, where you didn't really see them putting the ball on the ground all season, But I think we had 3 fumble recoveries.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, 3 fumble recoveries that game. So, the team we have here in Vineland are resilient kids that are going to do whatever you ask of them, and they're going to do it with no equivocation at all. So we love our kids here. We know that they're giving their all, and that's all we ask, man. That's all we ask. And always next man up mentality, because you never know when the guy in front of you is going to come in.
Especially this year.
This is what it is, Kyle. This is what it is.
We will write books about the 2025 injury bug
It's
with the varsity football team here.
like I've never seen it before in my life.
It's like an army of ants.
Yes, like
It just
what?
multiplies.
What happened? What? A shoulder or leg? What?
And that's the thing too. Like we talked about a little bit off camera. Like it's significant injuries to like very significant players. And not that any player is insignificant, but when you have your quarterback go down with a high ankle sprain, when you have, a player get taken off in an ambulance with a broken leg, when you have a Caden Chestnut, situation happen when he caught the football, mind you, and then such a freak thing happens, it has been the most like eclectic. You would have thought like somebody is just like WebMDing injuries and hits enter, and then it just gets sent to us, and it happens with the craziness and the magnitude of what these injuries are.
It's almost like sometimes I'm like, did somebody put some bad juju on?
Right.
Like,
do we need to sage Catone Stadium?
What's going on, man? Because I'm telling you, years I've been involved in football,
Never seen anything
playing
like it
or coaching it, and I've never seen anything like it ever.
You rarely see it at the NFL level to like the magnitude of what the injuries are.
No, or the college. I don't care where you go, you don't see it.
It's crazy.
So
never forget the 2025 injury bug.
Yeah, it's something.
Even though we're going on the road one more time here in this regular season, not including Thanksgiving, obviously, We always love our hometown here. The city of Vineland, one of our proud partners here. And like we've been mentioning to you guys, the Garden State Comic Fest is coming to the new Vineland Convention Center Saturday, November 15th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, November 16th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Meet Melissa Joan Hart. Yes, Sabrina the Teenage Witch will be in Vineland. Plus fan favorite stars like Dan Parent, the legendary Archie's comic artist and writer, Kevin Clash, the voice of Elmo, Splinter, and Baby Sinclair, and Keith Williams, the iconic comic book inker from Marvel, and more. They've been announcing a whole bunch of new celebrity guest appearances over the past couple of weeks, too. I'm so excited for this. You should be, too. If you want more information on all the comics, cosplay, collectibles, and more, plus over 6,000 fans expected to be here in Vineland, New Jersey for the Garden State Comic Fest. Visit gscfvineland.com for all the details. Again, the Garden State Comic Fest is coming to the new Vineland Convention Center Saturday, November 15th and Sunday, November 16th. For all the details, visit gscfvineland.com. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. Coach, one final regular season road game here before homecoming. What's kind of, the put a bow on it message to what this road trip has been and realizing like, hey, we've won on the road, we've lost on the road, we've done some good things on the road. How do you kind of put a bow on this road trip performance, try to hone in to everybody to kind of, this is a business trip, and come away with a victory against Highland on Friday night?
Ultimately, all we want our kids is to compete at a high level. Make sure that you have your alignment, assignment, and adjustments down pat, and come execute the way that you can. Doesn't matter whether you were a first stringer, second stringer, third, next man up mentality. Make sure that you're in that playbook. Make sure that you're practicing at a high level. And when you hit that turf on Friday over in Highland, we're flying 100 mile an hour, all gas, no brakes.
We've had a pretty successful run here. I'm going to let you call some more players out for potential, X Factor, Homegrown Player of the Week type flow. Who are some players that, coming off the bye, you've seen in practice that could really make a statement this week for you guys to, contribute to what you all hope and aspire to be a winning effort?
I'm going to go with the first kid that comes to my mind is Caden Chestnut. He's back. He's going to be salivating to get his opportunities. So I'm hoping that he goes ahead and takes advantage of his opportunities, and I believe he will. Elijah, being so that he got a little banged up that last game, I'm looking for him to have a outstanding game come game time. Georgie Figueroa, I'm looking for him. Yeah, I'm looking for him to have a phenomenal standout game. You have the likes of also, let's see, Barias. He has to keep that thing going, man. He's, Mr. Sideline to sideline. He has to keep that thing flowing and going. Zach Zavis, Aiden Zincraft. I'm looking, for big games defensively and offensive. I'm still waiting on that offensive game from Zincraft. I'm still waiting for Zincraft. I'm
itching for it. Who did step up when I brought it up to you, and he's been our guy in the booth. And then when he told me he was a freshman, it made I had goosebumps. Mr. Prophet had himself a game against Atlantic City.
Tommy Prophet is we talked about him. He's going to be a dynamic player.
He's been awesome.
He's going to be a dynamic player. He's just he's got to grow into his body.
And when that happens, watch out.
Yeah,
because what he's doing right now is impressive.
Yes,
absolutely. When he gets into his body and everything, whew.
Yeah, he's gonna gain some weight in the off season. He's gonna gain good weight.
Length.
Yeah,
and stands out on film, man.
Fast hands. He's quick to the ball. He's a ball hawk as well. But again, freshman. You know what I mean?
And so that's the most impressive part.
Yeah. He's going in there with no equivocations. He's no excuses, nothing. He's just playing football.
Love calling his name.
So that's a winning name there, man. Tommy Prophet.
Cash in.
Yeah. So I'm looking for good games from all these gentlemen, man. Our offensive line, Adonai Campos, I'm looking for a solid game from him. He's feeling a lot better from his groin injury. we're gonna see, man. Brian McCarter, you know, he's been doing some good things offensively, man. I love his play. He's you know, he's got that chip on his shoulder. So I'm really, really proud of that kid as well. He's come a long way.
And we all know Zyleek's going to show up.
Yeah, well,
that's a given.
That's Mr. Travis. Mr. Travis will be out there, and he's going to be biting at the bit to offensively get that ball and defensively
get that ball.
He's that guy, man. I love Zyleek. High energy guy, high impact guy. Kids love him. You know, the staff love him. He's just, he's that type of player, man, and he's going to have himself. Any game we have, you know, you're going to be calling Zyleek's name.
100%.
He has games all over the place, you know. So, again, you know, those are a few of the guys that I'm looking to step up this week. And, again, you know, anyone that has to step up in any number one shoes that went down, guess what? It's your opportunity to shine. So take it and run with it, man.
We will take one more quick commercial break, but on the other side, we'll put a bow on this episode and get you ready for Friday Night Lights. Don't go anywhere. You're watching and listening to Guzman's Gridiron right here on Underground Sports Philadelphia.
The Vineland Municipal Utilities is committed to helping your business succeed. As a community-owned utility, our focus is on service, not profit. From site planning to powering your operations, we can help you achieve your strategic goals. Whether it's a customized cost analysis of your usage needs, engineering support to ensure a smooth interconnection, or offering lower rates than neighboring utilities, we want to be your partner in creating an environment for long-term success. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
And big thank you to our sponsors. But, Coach, as we get ready for Friday Night Lights, it feels like that has been few and far between this year. What's just the message to everybody to gear up for, you know, one final road game on this road trip and be prepared for a team that's going to be hungry, a team that's, you know, bought in, like we mentioned earlier in the show, to this new coaching philosophy that they have, and to kind of just be on your P's and Q's, be disciplined, and go out there and have a winning formula on Friday night?
It's going to be very simple. Play fast, play physical, and play with all intentions of coming out with a W. It's very easy. So long as we execute offensively, defensively, special teams, you know, I'll take my chances with my kids any day of the week.
100%. And like we mentioned at the top of the show, unfortunately, no live stream broadcast or live tape uploaded afterwards broadcast of this week's football game against Highland. But once we get information, I am going to do my best to makeshift radio broadcast it, so it'll be an audio only broadcast. Just waiting to hear back from Highland's AD. Once that happens, Coach Guzman will know, then you all will know. We'll also put it out on social media everywhere, but unfortunately no video live stream or broadcast this weekend due to scheduling conflicts, if you will. But we'll be back broadcasting-wise for homecoming, which will be next Saturday, 11
in the morning.
11 o'clock flat.
Yep.
So, yeah, early start next Saturday. So make sure you're tapped in for that as well. 11 a.m. next Saturday will be homecoming at Gatone Stadium. But, Coach, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Everybody be sure to follow Vineland Football on social media, follow Underground Sports Philadelphia, subscribe to the podcast feed, especially if there is a radio version of the game. You're going to want to listen to it. It'll be exclusively on the Guzman's Gridiron podcast feed. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel so that you can watch the show with us each and every game day eve. There's been another edition of Guzman's Gridiron presented by the Red and Gray Gridiron Group and Underground Sports Philadelphia. For Coach Guzman, I'm Kyle Bennett. We will see you here next week, hopefully talking about a big-time Vineland High School win, and we'll be breaking it all down for you intricately since we'll know exactly what happened, Coach. But until then, have a safe and wonderful evening, weekend, and as always, go Vineland.